Trying new things with my setup. Always trying new things on the road. Welcome in. Good morning. Welcome aboard. We have a very special episode for you today. I was watching a Batman cartoon last night, and I started thinking about trauma bonding, aka the relationship between Harley Quinn and the Joker. It is a cartoon, fictional relationship that very well depicts trauma bonding. We're not going to talk a lot about Batman, unfortunately, but we're going to talk a lot about the bonds that form through trauma, through abuse, narcissism, neglect, things of this nature. And I think that a lot of us in here have probably experienced something of this nature. And I'm really excited to talk to you about it today because this is a topic we have never done on the lifeboat. I'm pretty excited. Not often you get to do something you've never done on the lifeboat. Krista, Melinda, good morning. Robin, hello, hello. Why can't I see the top one? My Vintage Moon, hello, hello. Jason P, okay, gotcha. Hey, Rona Cooley, welcome in. Good morning. Well, guys, thanks for joining me. Millie the Dandelion, heck yeah, I'm in a new setup today. They changed, the boss came in 15 minutes before my stream and was like, all right, I don't want to be on camera, so you can't stream in the same place, so I'm trying I'm in the bedroom. And this is suboptimal, but hey, at least my mom's happy, aka the boss. What's going on, Krushik? Good to see you, man. Mother Bird, hello. Sound sucks? Uh-oh. I wonder if I can fix that, dude. Let's get a 5x5 from everyone here, huh? If I do this, does it just absolutely destroy your minds? Oh, it doesn't like that at all. Oh my gosh, okay. Now let's get that 5x5, specifically the audio. Krushik lowered his dose to 22 milligrams a day. Let's go, dude. I don't have a trophy right here, but Grandma likes these little angels, so how about an angel with a cornucopia? This is our trophy today. Whoa, it actually had something in it. Congratulations, dude. That's a big deal, bro. That is a big deal. Every time we talk, you're lowering your dose, and it makes me real happy, dude. How you feeling, by the way? Krushik. Majesty says, still muffled. You know, I don't know if I can fix that. Let me think for a sec. Grandma might have headphones I can use. I wonder how easy that'll be to attain. Son of a gun. Sound is cutting in and out. What the heck? It was good yesterday, right? When we were crocheting, it was fine. I hate to walk away and go find headphones and then come back. That sounds like a stupid thing to do. Sassy Dad Mike Conroe, what's going on? Says, when you and Johnny go into Bug Tussle anytime soon? I don't think I will be going over there anytime soon, but you never know. The new year is just around the corner. Glad you're not feeling too bad, Krushik. Well, I think we're just gonna roll with it, guys. Hopefully it's not too terrible, all right? If it's really bugging you, say something, and I'll go slight muffle. Okay, it's not too bad. I won't worry about it unless it gets worse. All right, trauma bonding with the Batman reference. I thought that was, I had never realized that relationship was a stereotypical manipulative trauma bonding kind of situation between the Joker and Harley Quinn. If you don't know, Harley Quinn was a doctor at the asylum where the Joker was placed, right? And then she was trying to psych evaluate him or whatever, and he manipulated her and turned her into Harley Quinn. And I mean, I guess that's the layman's version, right? But trauma bonding refers to a strong emotional attachment that develops between individuals, often in relationships that are characterized by cycles of abuse. Lisa Trimbo, I've missed you. It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. Between individuals, often in relationships that are characterized by cycles of abuse. Good morning, Stephanie. Manipulation or power imbalances. I have to say, when researching this, I thought of Lucy a lot, and I'll get into that later. Bless her heart, by the way. Hope she's doing well. Speaking of, Lucy called my grandpa and wished him a Merry Christmas. I thought that was so nice. That was so sweet of her. Also not surprised she did so, but it's also sweet. This bond typically forms through repeated patterns of abuse. followed by periods of kindness, affection, or perceived reconciliation. So what that's saying is that these trauma bonds are going to form from negative experiences with people that we have in our lives, right? And it's specifically saying manipulation, right? Cycles of abuse, power imbalances, right? Things that we don't necessarily want in a relationship, right? But the key part here is that those periods are punctuated by periods of kindness, affection, and perceived reconciliation. Quite the confusing, spread that we're getting, right? So this is the crux of the whole trauma relationship, right? We have hope because we're having punctuated periods of kindness, affection, and perceived reconciliation, right? We're being given hope, but we're also very confused because our partner or whoever we're trauma bonding with keeps flipping the script. They keep going back and forth, right? It becomes very confusing. Over time, the victim may feel emotionally dependent on the abuser. I can definitely attest to this, making it difficult to leave the relationship even when it's harmful. I needed my dad basically to tell me what to do in order to leave that relationship. And he didn't tell me what to do, right? But he laid it out in terms that I could understand, and it made it real simple. But I have to say, I don't think that I would have made it out of that relationship without my dad. I tell you what. In fact, my dad has saved me on a number of occasions. Jane Aldrich, good morning. Galen, hello, hello. Crafty Witch. I saw Barbara in here as well. Good morning. I want to say I got your message, Barbara, and I've just been running around so busy I haven't had a chance to go back and look at what sort of mistake I may have made. I might have gotten some gifts mixed up, but I did read your letter and it was the sweetest. I really appreciate you. Krista Melinda says, I trauma bonded with an ex from over a decade ago. When he was well, he was very affectionate. When he was not well, he was abusive. It took him going to county jail for me to leave. I tell you what, sometimes that space is exactly what you need, right? Because I tell you what, I'm definitely not waiting around for my trauma bonded, significant other to come out of jail, It would be different if we had some sort of other bond, right? But the trauma bond, I think that's my chance to dip, right? Good morning, Lisa Canty. Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome in, Bruce. Hello. Heck yeah, guys. James Collins. What's going on, Big Daddy? All right. Let's move on. Key features of trauma bonding, all right? Intermittent reinforcement. We were kind of talking about this a second ago. The abuser will alternate between abusive behavior and gestures of kindness, creating confusion, a sense of hope in the victim, right? Never too old to learn, says Bruce. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Old dogs learn new tricks all the time, right? We just got to try a little harder. Our brains aren't as spongy as they once were, right? I love that, Bruce. Thank you for putting that up there. Emotional dependency. The victim may feel they cannot live without the abuser, often due to the feelings of low self-worth or fear instilled during the relationship. And also, it's not to be discounted. You may have had these feelings of low self-worth or fear instilled before the relationship as well. You might be bringing things into the relationship. Just food for thought. That's not the purpose of this video, though. Number 3, denial and minimization. Victims may rationalize or downplay the abuse, believing the abuser's promises to change. Now, I think this is the part where I digress and say, I wouldn't necessarily say that what I went through with Lucy was abuse, right? I don't think that. Right, that's not the word that I would use to describe what we were going through together. But as far as trauma bonding is concerned, I think that's exactly what we were going through. Right, I don't think it was due to abuse, but the rest of this sentence, rationalizing and downplaying the abuse, and take the abuse part out. Right, rationalizing and downplaying my experience is definitely what I was doing. And when I said that my dad saved me, and he put it in terms that I could understand, that was him not downplaying it, right? That was him putting it in layman's terms, black and white, right? Simple, this or that, right? Do you want to be in the same position 5 years from now, 10 years from now, right? Feeling the exact same way with the same exact person, knowing you could have left 5 years ago? And that really hit it out for me, right? Because there's always hope we can work it out. There's always hope we can fix these problems, right? But at the same time, we've made no progress in 2 years. Maybe I should get off this train, And that really helped me out. Number 4, power imbalance. And this one's fun. This one is something new for me. Charlie Mullins. What's going on, dude? Been a long time. I hope this message finds you well, man. Hope the 2024 is going out with a bang for you. Power imbalance. The abuser often exerts control, leaving the victim feeling powerless and trapped. And I don't know if I have any anecdotes for that. I don't think I have any examples. I would have to stretch, so I'm not going to. Good to see you, Charlie. Thank you. Kristen says it actually took me almost a full 10 years to call it abusive. I wasn't an angel either. We mistreated each other for sure. Thanks for saying that, Kristen. And at this point, I don't think it matters whether it was abuse or not, right? We're both past it, and in fact, we're nice to each other when we speak, so that's more than I could have hoped for originally. So if you guys notice I'm not looking right at the camera, it's because the microphone is on this side. The camera is on the opposite side of the microphone, so I'm just trying to project over there. Causes of trauma bonding. Survival instincts. In high-stress situations, victims may bond with the abuser as a way to cope or survive. This is definitely a Harley Quinn situation here. Manipulation and gaslighting. The abuser may distort reality, making the victim doubt their own perceptions, which is the worst position to be in my opinion. If I can't trust my own perception, right? If I can't trust, what is that? Like when you get gaslit to a point where you can't trust your own instincts, like that is bad, right? That's real bad. If I can't trust my own perceptions, then I'm lost, right? And not to say that I can't be found, not to say that I can't, improve things, but that's just a position that is not desirable, right? Not being able to trust your own perceptions is terrible. And it's something that I'm sure that a lot of us have experienced. We've got some questions. Let's go. Lisa Trimble asks, can't trauma bonding be related to past trauma and being friends or partners with someone because you both have past trauma without them abusing each other? I'm so glad you asked this, Lisa. I was talking with my sister about this last night, and we were talking about trauma bonding. That's where I got this idea. Also Batman, but and she asked me a similar question. She said, I have a friend that also has heart problems, and we bond over it. But I don't think that's trauma bonding, even though that's bonding over trauma. And we talked about that a little bit. I did not do the research on it, but I think that's a little bit different. Like that is like bonding over, like commiserating over shared trauma, I think is one thing, which is not a bad thing, right? That's actually what we do here on the boat, right? We all have, our own paths, but a lot of our paths are kind of parallel and kind of intersect and intertwine, and we learn from each other. We share experiences, strength, hope, right? We fall down, we pick each other up. I mean, that's kind of right up that alley, right? I'm definitely not Batman. And if I was, I probably wouldn't admit it on the live internet. Hopefully that explanation was adequate, Lisa. Is it also, Crafty Witch asks, is it also trauma bonding with going through medical issues? What do you mean by that? Like bonding with, like, are you asking if you're experiencing some sort of trauma bonding if you're going through like a long traumatic medical process? Is that what you're asking? Bruce Dalrymple. I don't know if I can pronounce your last name, but Bruce has some prolific words for us. I live with a 90-year-old mama. We tend to rebond daily. Never know what's going to flow. Laughing out loud. Acceptance is the key. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone's on their own path, right? Everyone's only doing their best. And, if someone's struggling or having a hard time, I try to remember that, and it helps me, like, not react and not be, sucky, not be a jerk. It helps me empathize and want to help, right? I feel like we're all just reflections of each other, which is a weird thing to say online, but it is what it is. Annika, what's going on? Crafty says, like example, when I was going through cancer treatment. Interesting. Let's explore that a little bit. If that's the case, what would you be bonding with? Would you be bonding with your doctors? Would you be bonding with the hospital and the process itself, like the act of going in for your treatment, right? Getting sick and then coming home. I guess that makes enough sense to my brain. I feel like that's possible. But I think that question is a little above my pay grade, Crafty, honestly. Not a fan of Batman, Crafty? Oh, I see what you're saying there. Lol. What's going on, Swiss Vape? Good morning, dude. How are you? How are you? How the heck are you? Survival instinct, manipulation, and gaslighting. Isolation. Abusers may isolate victims from friends and family. Increasing dependency. And I feel like some of these words are too general to apply it to Lucy and I, but she definitely would not. She didn't like it when I hung out with our female friends, and it's not like I was going to hang out with women without her, right? Which I think would probably be an issue. I don't think that I would be happy about that if the roles were reversed, right? But we had female members of our fire tribe, and there was probably some flirty energy flying around, but I mean, I stand my ground and I stand by my beliefs, right? I'm not into open relationships, and for somehow, some way, the ways that I was interacting with other females in our fire crew really, really, really bothered Lucy, and it ended up manifesting as me not hanging out with them, right? Me not spending time with them, aka, what does it say here? Isolating victims from their friends and family. Now, I don't want to say she was isolating me as a victim or whatever, right? But I definitely felt isolated at the end of the day, right? I don't think that was her intent. I think it was all subconscious and we're playing out like our own narratives, right? But I definitely relate to this a lot because I ended up spending less and less time with people that were not Lucy as our relationship went on. And I think that's a great red flag, right? That's a great like a road marker, right? Like, hey, you're headed for a cliff, take a sharp left turn. I think that's what that sign was saying. So, in hindsight's always 2020, right? Kristen says people who witness the same traumatic event will bond sometimes too, like veterans of the same war. That ends up happening a lot in toxic relationships because you go do scary things together as well. Interesting. Swiss Vape says I'm sick, not in a good mood. My wife is not in a good mood. Kids annoying. Cats a pain in the mm-mm-mm. Heck yeah, I'm alive and well. Dude, that's how you know you're alive, right? I'm really sorry to hear all that, man. I tell you what. Yo, speaking of, I can't put ones up myself, but will y'all do me a favor? If you're out there listening to the sound of my voice, will you put some ones up in the chat? For anyone out there that, is having a hard time today, needs a little extra love. Just, anyone that might need a little hug, let's do that. I would appreciate it. Kim says, in a PTSD group I'm in, that happens. I bet that happens a ton. Lots of shared commiseration, which is part of the purpose, right, of a group such as that. My pal Sal, hello. Tracy Laughin, hello. Heck yeah, guys. My voice still coming in clear. Annika, you missed the crochet yesterday. Speaking of, I wanted to do more today because I enjoyed it so much, but I'm going to be snowboarding like from noon to, I don't know, whenever we get done. So the time that I have to do a second show today is going to be in the evening, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure that's when my dad goes on. So we might have to do it tomorrow, folks. Unfortunately, which is all right. Just not the best. And when I get home, Crafty says I was enjoying watching you crochet. That's awesome. Thank you. When I get home, we're gonna get a better setup. We'll have like a top-down camera so you can see what my hands are doing, and then we'll have a camera at my face. Like how we do with the painting. So we'll get a similar setup. I've also been learning a lot about lights. Apparently there's a science to it. There's no need for me to fumble around in the dark because people have been lighting video sets, video tapings for a long time, and there's a science to it now. So there's no need for me to just guess and check. I can literally just go find the way that professionals do it. But allegedly, if you have a light like right behind you, a light like just to the right just right next to the camera, as low as you can get it, and then like a 30-degree offset from the back camera. I forget exactly the brightness and the angles but it was something like that. 3 lights behind the camera, behind the person, and then 30 degrees offset, and it apparently puts no shadows on your face and lights everything. So we're gonna have to try that. We're gonna have to try it. Also, please hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a big difference for us. Kim says, my mother tried to teach me that when I was 12. I ended up hurling the stuff across the room and going out playing baseball with boys. Yeah, that sounds more like me as well. I tell you what. Oh my Lord, Annika says that awful girl from work put hands on a customer, so she got fired. But that means my hours got moved all around. I'll join you guys Tuesday and Wednesdays. Well, heck yeah, Annika. I wish you all the ease at work. I'm sure that your workload just got a little bigger. Signs of trauma bonding. Feeling loyal to someone who harms you. That one's pretty straightforward, huh? And like, I think this section is going to describe our red flags, right? These are the signs we should be paying attention to, right? If anything I'm about to say here in this section is something that you're experiencing currently, I would look at it. It doesn't necessarily mean 100% that you're, experiencing trauma bonding, but it could definitely point at something you may not have noticed yet. So I think it's important. Kim asks how I'm liking it in Salt Lake City. I love it here. I tell you what, I'm glad I don't live here right now, but one day I'll move back. Um, Feeling loyal to someone who harms you, making excuses for your abuser's behavior, difficulty leaving the relationship despite knowing it's unhealthy, feeling guilty or ashamed for wanting to leave, right? That kind of seemed like a train wreck. Every one of those was a little worse than the one before. Now, breaking the trauma bonds. Here's the important part, eh? Acknowledgement. We want to recognize the unhealthy dynamics. All right, that's our first step. If we can recognize the unhealthy dynamics of our relationship, then we can attempt to change them, right? Seeking support. Therapy, support groups, trusted friends, these can help, right? So I am no substitute for a licensed professional. I'm looking at you, Kristen Melinda. I am no substitute for a licensed professional, right? I've lived a life, I have experience, and that's what I try to share with you, right? But as far as like, I'm not a therapist. I don't have a license to ill. I got none of that. So we're just, if this is something you're experiencing, I highly encourage you to find some therapy. Show up to the lifeboat, get your own little support group in person, like somewhere where you live. And obviously trusted friends can always help because you can trust them, right? You can be vulnerable with them and they won't abuse you, right? So, seeking support, building independence. Scooby Lee, what's going on? Am I reading that James has 200 subs? Let's go. We don't have a trophy today, but we have an angel with a cornucopia. Dude, that's awesome. Heck yeah, James, let's go. Let's go. Shimmy Dubawabi. Good morning. How are you? Resident Doom lookalike. Sitting at 208. Heck yeah, James. Heck yeah. What did Grizel say? I didn't see that. Hold on. Oh, I think some of the best YouTube channels have cats and a mission. I was watching, it was like the cat carpenter or something. There's this carpenter making beautiful things, and he's got a cat, right? And the cat will show up in the video randomly and do really cute stuff. So he's like building something, so you're watching this cool creation, plus you get cute cat stuff. So I tell you what, when I finally get a cat, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing cute cat things with intermittent awesomeness, right? Or I guess awesomeness with intermittent cat stuff. Building independence. Developing self-worth and emotional resilience is a wonderful avenue, right? I think that a lot of the things we talk about on this channel can be solved, cured, worked on with self-worth practice, right? And the way that I do this is that I do positive affirmations. When I'm having automatic negative thoughts, I try to combat them with positive thoughts, right? I'm trying to improve my self-worth. Another way that I do this is by doing self-care, right? Self-love, right? I don't know, do my nails. When I say do my nails, I mean clip and clean, right? Take a shower, put lotion on all of me. I don't know, take a nap, do rest, eat good food, go to bed on time. There's a million things you can do for self-love, and they all kind of slowly you're teaching yourself that you're worth it. You're worth taking care of, right? You're worth cleaning up and feeding and resting, and that's how we build. That's one of the main ways that I build my self-worth. I saw something here. Shimmy says, I've got to quit using cannabis, among other things. New Year's resolutions coming soon? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Except we're going to actually keep our New Year's resolutions, right? We're going to do our best at least. Shimmy, are you just experiencing like a lack of motivation and laziness? What issues are you experiencing with the cannabis use? And I'm not arguing with you. I'm just curious, right? I just want to know. I totally support you quitting. You know, I support anybody quitting whatever. Um, so I definitely know that if I was smoking regularly right now, I would not be coming to you like this, right? I would be way less, and I'm not a very consistent individual right now as it is. If I was smoking, I would be way less consistent. If I was smoking, I would forget everything. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing here. It's not good for my brain on a long term, right? Short term, you know, it makes me creative, makes me happy, right? Makes me hungry, but long term, it's detrimental to my progress, 100%. And that's just what I've learned from me, right? Meep says snowboarding. Yeah, I can't wait. We're going in about 45 minutes. We're gonna leave here. Late stage CUD symptoms such as those mentioned. Understood. Well, I tell you what, something that helped me a ton um, was getting like something to put in my mouth when, and this helped for cigarettes as well. I guess it helped more for cigarettes than marijuana, but if you like get some like toothpicks or like a lollipop or something, that'll help you with the oral fixation. But really, a bigger part of it for me with the weed was the ritual of it, like breaking it down, rolling it up, right, or putting it in the grinder, loading the bong, right, cleaning the bong, whatever it was. The ritual of it was like it was a ritual that I engaged in all the time. It was very hard to feel normal not doing it, right? So some things that you can do are when you feel that urge, immediately uh, employ contrary action. And what I mean is when you get that urge or you start feeling itchy about it, right? And you're intending to not give into that, do something else, do something opposite, right? Usually in this moment when I'm feeling this way, I'll go smoke, right? I'll go break it down. I'll go buy some and we'll smoke, right? Instead of that, maybe I'll go to the gym, right? Instead of that, let's go for a swim. Instead of that, let's read a book. Instead of that, let's make dinner, right? Instead of that, do anything. When I say contrary action is the equal and opposite reaction, it just has to be a different action. It just has to be an action I don't normally take. It doesn't have to be opposite, right? But I would start there, Shimmy, and let me know how it goes. And honestly, you sound like you've been around the block, dude. You don't sound like you need a ton of my help. But I'm always willing to give it, and I'm glad you're here. Thanks for sharing that. Izzy E, what's going on? What a pleasure. What a pleasure. We're talking about trauma bonding. Alana Kavanaugh, hello, hello. Arwa, good to see you. Jeremy, yo, okay. We're almost through this stuff, guys. Setting boundaries. Imagine that. Imagine that we would end on the setting boundaries note. Limiting or cutting off contact with the abuser if possible, right? So creating distance. We've talked about this before in other contexts, but creating distance is going to be healthy for you, right? It's going to enable you to make clearer thought decisions without the emotional interference of your partner, right? Alana Kavanaugh, oh my. I wish I could put this up there, but I don't think I can from the tablet. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for your support. You're wonderful. Someone has 30 years. 30 years. Quit smoking marijuana or hashish, as we call it. 30 years now. As it's not for me, those kind of drugs, like Coca-Cola too. Interesting. You know, sugar is one of the most powerful substances known to man. It really is. It just hits you a little different than hard drugs, you know? But I don't think it's that much different. They all have their own unique properties, eh? Paula D. Pendley, hello, hello. Oh, I forgot. We're using this angel as a trophy, yo. 30 years is mind-blowing. I'm coming up on 2 right now, so times that by 15 and I'll be where you're at. Oh, thank you, Alana. Absolutely. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. I hope 2025 is the biggest, baddest, awesomest year of all time, guys. And in fact, I'm sure it will be. I have a great, great feeling. Paula D. Penley asks, good morning, lovely boat fam. Is there such a thing as trauma attraction? I feel more comfortable with others who have had trauma in their life. I I don't know what I would call this. I guess trauma attraction is probably as good as any way to describe that phenomenon, but that phenomenon is real, right? I feel safer knowing that the person that I'm close with can understand what I've been through, right? I feel much more safe and secure with someone that understands my plight, right? That understands my struggle. I think that's one of the reasons my sister and I mean, other that we, have the same blood, right? But one of the reasons we get along so well is because we have similar trauma, similar experiences, right? And on top of that, we love each other, right? So we just have this very rich relationship. And I think that I've got to remind myself what I'm talking about. I think that having relationships with people that can understand what you've been through, right, that can understand your trauma, is very valuable and, is a great foundation for a solid friendship. I feel more comfortable with people that, have been through what I've been through. But I have to say, most people haven't. Usually it's like one or two pieces of my story, right? I can relate with the drug addict. I can relate a ton with heroin addicts. In fact, most of my closest friends are dope or ex-dope heads, or are dope heads, and we just don't talk now, right? I forgot. Whatever. Oh, I see what you mean, Maria. I also was a big fan of the not Coca-Cola, if you know what I mean, and I'm almost 2 years removed from it. That went right over my head. If you or someone you know is experiencing trauma bonding, reaching out to a therapist or counselor can be a crucial step toward healing and reclaiming autonomy. Now, I really enjoy this as a conclusion statement, right? Because my example for how I dealt with this was I called my dad and he helped me out, right? He was my therapist. That's not going to work for all of you, right? It may work for some of you, but I imagine that not everyone has the sort of relationship with their dad that I do, right? So I think that, reaching out to a therapist, a counselor, someone that you trust, right? Something of that nature is going to be a crucial step, right, toward healing and reclaiming autonomy, which is what we want to do, right? To heal a trauma bond, we want to reclaim our autonomy. We want to, heal ourselves, recognize our self-worth, eh? And honestly, I don't think that I could have come to this place without help. I would 100% seek help, whether it's a professional, whether it's a family member that loves you and maybe has some wisdom, right? Whatever the case, whether it's a friend, even someone from the boat, right? Especially someone from the boat. I bet you every single one of us has experienced this in some way, right? In different degrees, I'm sure, but I'm sure that this is not an unfamiliar concept for anyone here. So, if this is something that you're struggling with, reach out to someone on the boat, reach out to me, my dad, reach out to whoever you can. Yeah. And I wish you happy, wonderful relationships moving forward in 2025, right? All we can do is learn and move forward. So thanks for being here. One more time, hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. It really helps us out. Kristen says, psychologytoday.com is a great resource for finding a licensed therapist. You can search by location, insurance, etc. It's hard to know where to start sometimes. Well, thank you for that. That's what we need right there. Later, Crafty. I will totally have fun. I promise I'll be safe. And if you guys don't see me this afternoon/evening, I will see you in the morning. Shimmy says, looking for friends near the 414. Holler at me. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, Shimmy. If anyone recognizes that area code, give my man a shout. Deeming, good morning. How are you? Have you read a book called The Four Agreements? I'm going to order it. I have not, but I've been recommended it many, many times, and I actually may own it. I'll have to look at my bookshelf. Lady Warrior has some prolific words for us. I find that deciding not to have a significant other right away after distancing has helped me to get to know myself and my wants better. Setting my sights higher on what I allow in my life and don't. This is amazing. I see so many of my friends, so many of my peers, acquaintances, so many people in the world around me creating distance and immediately shacking up into another relationship. And it's like, yo, you're learning nothing. You are learning nothing. You're just filling this hole inside of you with someone else, right? And that's not healthy. You're going to run into the same problems, and your hands are not on the wheel. Grab the wheel, grab your destiny, and control it, right? Drive that sucker. If you're having a neglectful, traumatic, subpar, abusive, whatever, not good relationship, do not immediately go into another relationship. I see this all the time. It is only human, but it's only hurting us as well. You're learning nothing. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. I'm so glad you brought that up. I didn't even think about that, Lady Warrior. And also, you're worth it. You don't need someone else to be happy. You don't need a significant other to find self-worth, right? You have everything you need right inside of you. And I have to agree. I love flying solo. Wanna love, good to see you. Shannon Trim, hello, hello. Kellyanne, good morning. Much love. Trauma bonding is powerful because it occurs under extreme emotion and experience. It takes recognition and effort to loose those binding cords. Yes, very, very powerful stuff. Swiss Vape, I love you too, man. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Well, I should say, I hope that your day gets better, man. I hope you and the fam brighten on up and find some joy, some sunshine on your life, man. Thanks for joining us today. I'm always stoked when you're here, man. I have to say. James Collins says 5.5 years single, waiting to find a good life partner again. When the time is right, it will happen. That's right. And if you're looking for it, it's probably not going to show up, eh? Alana Kavanaugh says, here's something a nurse told me. Just because it feels familiar doesn't mean it's right. I like that a lot. Izzy E says, give yourself the gift of your own time, consideration, and energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Lady Warrior says, I have to state, I've been enjoying this channel. The channels and linked channels are wonderful. I'm glad I caught a live. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they have to buy anything. That's totally not the deal. Like, well, I do this because it's what I feel like it's what I have to do. You know what I mean? After everything that I've been through, the path that I've walked, this is something that I'm capable of doing, right? So I don't want anyone on this channel to ever feel like they need to give money. I mean, if you do, it's wonderful and it supports us, right? It keeps us going. But like just the fact that you're here participating, just the fact that you're here and benefiting, right? That's enough for me. That's way more payment than any dollar amount could ever do, right? I'm getting gains in here. I'm getting spiritual gains. You're leveling me up is what you're doing. So thank you for being here, and don't ever feel pressured to spend, all right? On that note, I think I'm going to get the heck out of here, guys. I got to put my gear on. Yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here. One more time, hit that like, subscribe, bell for notifications. If you like what we're doing here, it means a lot to us. I had something else to say. Look out for Reese later today, Relatable Reese. Look out for Chase the Heat. Look out for my dad, the Admiral. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, I'm Captain Calhoun's son of Tommy Scoble, Admiral Tommy Scoble, nephew of Uncle Johnny Scoble, Chase the Heat. And I do the morning shows here on the boat. I will be, in a few days' time, rolling out my own channel. And when I say rolling out, I mean the branding's going to be up. I don't know if I'll have a video ready on the 1st of January, but Calhoun's Corner, I think we're going to call it Calhoun's Curiosities, Calhoun's Corner, something like that, in a few days. So look out for that as well. Other than that, I love you guys. You guys are the best. Shout out to the mods, the crew, anyone new. I appreciate every single one of you. Absolutely the same. Dude, not dud. Dude. Alana says, not once have I donated because I feel a must. I do it because I genuinely want to. I love that. And I don't say that to throw anyone off. I just say that because I know personally, sometimes I feel like a need, right? Sometimes I feel it when I shouldn't. So I just wanted to say that, right? I just wanted to, it's like a little disclaimer. I just appreciate that you guys are here, you know? I just appreciate that I just am grateful that I can help, you know. So I know it's been a short episode, guys, but I'm out of here. This has been The Lifeboat with Captain Calhoun. And I'll see you later, all right? Have a wonderful day, right? Y'all, be nice to yourselves. You deserve it.